Kendrick Lamar, first week sales. Let's talk about it. I want to start this video off with saying that Kendrick's music is meant for longevity, and first week sales are not going to take that away. Kendrick Lamar's fifth studio album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, sells 286,000 copies first week. 250,000 of that was from streaming, while 35,000 came from pure album sales. There are a few reasons why I want to talk about these first week sales, but the main two reasons come down to influence and expectations. Expectations of sales that came from a long break in between releases and the status that came from Kendrick. I admit I did think this was going to sell more than it did. It was reasonable to think that Kendrick could top his Damn sales, which were 603,000 first week, but I do think there are things that are missed when comparing the two album sales. For one, Mr. Morale was more of a personal piece to Kendrick and his growth. Obviously, all of his albums have that element to it, but with this, it was shedding the need to be that savior, and we can hear that with the tracks on the album. The closest songs that we got to hits were N95 and Silent Hill. Don't get me wrong, I am absolutely in love with this album front to back, and I don't think having hits makes or breaks an album. My point is to show the comparison of the two projects and why one would sell more. With Damn came both Humble and DNA, great songs and massive hits to bring up those album sales. Humble is 7 times platinum, meaning that song alone has been sold over 7 million times. Having massive hits like that goes into having higher album sales. Now, before you tell me that To Pimp a Butterfly sold more than Mr. Morale first week, I know that album did win Kendrick a Pulitzer Prize, which I think is a good explanation in itself. With the release of Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers came another personal piece to show the world where he is now, and I don't think first album sales mean anything to Kendrick. Something very interesting about Kendrick releasing a new album was the fact that all of Kendrick's work increased in streaming. In my Kendrick Lamar Financially Free video, I mentioned how in 2021, his album Good Kid Mad City had 194,000 vinyl physical copy sales 9 years after the album was released. That is unheard of, which shows the longevity of his music. After the release of Mr. Morale, we saw another surge in his discography. So what do these first week sales mean for Kendrick? I would not be surprised if he did not care for the topic, especially after his messages in the album. The album fits right in with his discography, meaning it will continue to grow over time. That is the power that Kendrick Lamar has, influence over time, which makes him one of the greatest. First week sales do matter, but not as much as sales over a longer period, because that's what keeps the money coming in. Kendrick Lamar's fifth studio album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, sells 286,000 first week. He once again shows the world why he is at the level he is at, and the album fits right in with his timeless discography. It will be interesting to look back in a few years from now and see the long-term sales of the album. I'm going to keep jamming the album and his discography with the rest of the world, once again proving his longevity. What do you think of Kendrick's first week sales? Let me know in the comments below. If you haven't seen my Financially Free video on Kendrick, go check that out as I go more in depth with his sales, label, and investments. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.